Hello, marry me. So this is going to be a review of a tarot deck, and today I want to review Dragon Tarot. Now there is a lot of dragon themed tarots, and this is just named simply Dragon Tarot. And it is by, it doesn't say on the box. Yes, US Game Systems. So yeah, I had this deck for quite some time, and I really do like dragons, but I often find that it isn't a deck I go for when I want to do a reading. And it's not anything really wrong with it, it just doesn't resonate very well with me, but I will try to review it anyway. So yeah, get the cards out of the box. It can be a little bit fiddly doing that at times. The box is a little bit too tight for the cards. Not that that is a huge complaint, since a lot of people discard the box anyway. I generally like to keep my cards in the box. So yeah, let's begin with the little white book. Here we have it. It has a little dragon head on the front, and really it is nothing special. It begins with an introduction. You cannot see, there you can see it. And it has basically a little blurb about each card. So it has about one paragraph about the card generally, and then a couple of lines about the binary meaning and the reverse meaning. And that is it. It has a little blurb about what each suit stands for, and then just the same for those cards. So actually no, it doesn't. It has nothing about for the suits. I had almost forgotten. Just have one line for each card in the little arcana. So yeah, that's it. Then you have a little one page of reading the cards. Then we have Celtic Cross and about the author. And the author is Peter Prekovic. Now, one way to know that a deck is going to be generic is when the author and artist name are not displayed on the box. You have to look through the little white book to get it. And I think that's one of my problems with this deck, is that it's so generic. There are a lot better dragon themed decks out there that has more soul, so to speak. This is the back of the card. It is very pretty. It shows dragons in a pleasing pattern. So yeah. Yes, and there are two cards. Here we have. We have just this card too that just has an introduction about the deck and its meanings and just little blurbs, and then we have the cards themselves. So yeah, how would I describe? Sorry. Anyway, cards. They have a very cartoon-like feel to them. Here we have the Fool. The Magician. The High Priestess. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with them. They follow basic Rider-Waite symbolism relatively well. So I do think they are a little bit light on the symbolism. If you look at the Empress here. I mean, you have the symbolism there, but it's pretty dumbed down. It hasn't gotten a huge amount of it. As such, I think this can be a very good beginner deck. Because the classical symbolism is definitely there, you have it. But it isn't, it doesn't have a lot of symbolism. meaning that for a more intermediate or advanced level tarot reader, this can be a bit lacking. But for somebody who's just starting out, it might be just enough symbolism to really get them going. So yeah, this is basically the art style. It's very colorful, it's very vibrant, and it's somewhat cartoony. So if you like that kind of art style, this might be for you. For me, I like looking at the pictures. I think the pictures are fun, they're interesting, they're pretty, but they aren't usually not at them that I never used the deck. It's a decent deck. Now, as for cardstock, it's okay. It's not massively impressive, but it'll do the job. And like I said, I have had it for a while and it shows really no wear and tear, so I can't complain. The cards themselves have a matte finish to them. They are waxed to a certain degree, but not a lot. It has this matte finish that really make the image pop. So yeah, one thing that I think some people might react to is that I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but yeah, there you have the logo of the publisher on the side. And really, when I'm reading tarot card, I don't need to see the logo of the publisher in every single card. So have you seen some major arcana cards? Let's have a look at some minor arcana cards. The minor arcana cards definitely are simpler drawn. They are all illustrated, but the illustrations are pretty simple. These are ones. So yeah, you can see there's sort of an intermediate level between those that have fully illustrated minor arcana and those that just have sort of the pictures of the like lots of little cups and lots of little swords and so on. These sort of have something in between. There are definitely images there and so on, but the images are very simplified. So yeah, good things about this deck is that it has relatively good cardstock. It has a gorgeous backing. I do like the very nice matte finish of it. The colors really do pop, and it follows the Rider-Waite symbolism pretty well. It is a good deck for those that want to have a Rider-Waite style deck, but don't want it to be too advanced. I think it's a very good alternative for people who are into dragons or into fantasy and so on to get into the tarot. It is definitely a good beginner deck. For somebody who has a bit more experience, though, I think the symbolism is just too simplistic. Now, bad things. Well, I don't like that minor arcana is basically us. Let's find another suit. Have a look at that as well. Cups. Cups are pretty. That the minor arcana is done in this style where it is basically just halfway illustrated. You have basically a dragon doing something in the middle there, and while some cards have something different, like this one, it really just, I won't say it's fully illustrated. It is pretty though. It is pretty. Also, the symbolism is a bit light, and some people might think that that very cartoony style of the artwork is bad. I won't call that a minus though, because that's really taste. For me, that doesn't really do it when it comes to divination. I can use it by all means. It's definitely a deck I think I can have good results with. It's just that I like so many of my other decks a lot more. I think that if I'm going to describe this deck, I would say generic. I think really that would be my description of it. Generic. And for good and bad, it is I don't find a lot of faults to poke at with it. I don't find a lot of things to praise it for either. It's just very generic. So yeah, if you want very simple to use, simple to read, generic dragon themed deck, then this might be for you. And here's the other, yes, introduction card. Yes, says Dragon Tower. And but really, it doesn't feel like those that made it hard for in it. It feels like that some producers said, dragons are popular, right? Yeah. So let's just go on and make a dragon themed tarot deck, okay? Yep. So let's just get an artist and somebody to just write a blurb about some meanings and design the thing. Yep. That's what I feel has been going on. So yeah, it's okay. I'm not saying it's a bad deck or anything. It just doesn't feel like it. Yeah, I guess I get back to that word generic. That's what it is. It's generic. Let's see if we can get it back into the package as well. Like I said, a bit too small package. Come on, little white book, you want to get back in there? So yeah, if you want something that's easy to start with, that has the basic symbolism, but not much more than the basic symbolism, then this is a good start. If you want something that's more advanced, look somewhere else. And really, there are better dragon team decks. I will give this 5 out of 10, and before somebody say, but that's slaughtering it, no. 5 out of 10 means average. It is completely average, it's not good, it's not bad, it's generic. And that's my review of Dragon Tarot. Hope you have enjoyed this review. Have a great day, and blessed be.